Hey Dexter, this is Keaton Everett with ABC. Going over your pitching video from camp. We're going to go through and talk about your motion and your delivery, and kind of break down everything frame by frame, and make sure you're doing everything right, and sort of discuss what we look for and ways to fix it. Overall, you have a really good base, a really good understanding for your mechanics. Everything works pretty well. You're nice and tall. You got a lot of long levers. And so it looks like you're doing a lot of good things right. All right, and so we're going to go through and sort of break it down and look at everything here. It looks like you're doing a really good job, though. All right, so we'll go back here to start. All right, so you're doing really good at nice and small. Not getting too big with your movements here. All right, you're looking down. Once that leg comes up. All right, the one thing the easy fix here is you can see how your leg is still coming up and you're looking down at the ground. All right, this is, I don't know the percentages, but it's probably pretty close to 75%, 80% of kids are looking down that ground. Now you're trying to pick up that target as your body's already moving forward. All right, and so all that is, pitching so much about visualization, just kind of dialing in, looking at your target. And so once that leg kind of gets up, you look down at the rubber to make sure that foot's in place. Once that foot's in place, dial in on that target, make sure you know where you're wanting to throw, see it in your brain, and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it's a really huge thing. It helps so much with location and command, just picking up that target earlier. All right, it's just an easy thing to do for you. All right, so you're staying balanced over that back leg. What I like to see really what you do really well here is your initial hip movement forward. All right, so as this leg comes down, your hips are going. All right, we got kids that kind of sit back over your back leg and don't really get going, but you're getting really good at driving out over that front, over that back foot, and starting your hips first as you're getting down the mound. All right, you're staying, your upper body's staying over that back hip. All right, you're not getting out front, getting good extension down the mound. All right, so now what we go through is at your foot strike. And so right about here, it looks like it's probably in between one of these two frames here. Maybe probably this one, what we call it. All right, so what you see here is you start to rotate open early. We'll kick back there, and you're starting to get a posture lean. All right, and so this happens with guys that really get good sort of drive down the mound as you're getting so much drive, but that momentum kind of takes you forward a little bit early. So you got to make sure you're staying back a little bit longer, and especially as you get older, this will kind of get a little bit easier. But at this point, at this spot right here, we still want to see you still over that back leg or that back hip. Your posture is still sort of straight up to like a flat ground, but the biggest indication of everything is you're going to see that elbow hasn't rotated yet. All right, so now everything's still closed right here as opposed to where it is now. All right, so you're just kind of getting out as you're driving so good down the mound. You're just letting that body get out a little bit early. You're letting that left side kind of pop down early. So then through that release point, you can see that glove get a little bit down. It looks like you might be kind of pulling your head off a little bit. But what it's doing here is you're seeing this little space sort of between your head and your elbow, and so you're just kind of pushing it just a little bit there. All right, it's not anything that's going to cause you injury problems, hopefully, but it's just something where just because you kind of pull a little bit, that pull with your left side kind of causes that right arm to come through a little bit too soon out of sync from your body, and you get that push instead of that drive with everything. All right, so then if you're staying close, we'd probably see your glove somewhere up here a little bit. All right, it can drop a little bit, but what it's going to do is it's going to cause your left shoulder from pulling, it's going to level it out a little bit more, and that's going to bring your head a little bit forward, stay on line, and then that's going to cut down that push. So now you're using that body, but exceptional extension here. You don't see this a whole lot. You're driving all the way through that back leg, that back foot's still on the ground. At your release, you're getting down over that front foot, and so everything is going on really well for you here. All right, you don't see this a whole lot, and so that's good to see. You got a really good foundation, everything. You got a great follow through. You're using that lower half. It's just that matter of just that small little tweak of, keep the same momentum. Don't try to slow down your momentum so you can stay back. It's just something that, will come easier as you get older and get stronger. But just work on keeping that left side. Just do the throwing from your right side. Let your hips do the work. Let that right shoulder come through first before the left shoulder comes through. And that's going to be good for you. All right. But again, everything's pretty solid. Really good job, and so just work on those couple key things, and you're going to be good to go. So thanks for making it out to camp. Hopefully you had a great time, and we look forward to seeing you with ABC.